Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. I am here outside Old Trafford again for another topical video, and this time, if you've seen the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Erik ten Hag's tactics and how they've changed compared to how he played at Ajax and how he wanted to play at Manchester United initially, and how he changed that after the first two league defeats against Brighton and Brentford, and how he is starting to implement some of his style but he's not able to do it fully just yet, and what more we have to come from Erik ten Hag. So make sure you like the video and let's get into it and let's talk about Erik ten Hag's tactics. So starting off, we're going to start about how he made Ajax into the team that they were and how he was so successful with Ajax, and it was through possession-based attacking football. He's a manager that specialises in high tempo, strong attacking, fast pace and high pressing football. That is what Ajax is all about. Therefore, it is no surprise that in the Eredivisie that no team kept more possession, completed more short passes or had a higher percentage of passes played in the Eredivisie. At the moment, you would see with Manchester United, after playing Liverpool and further on from that, our possession has not been great. If any, I think in some games, majority of the games, especially in Arsenal and Liverpool, they had more possession than us. This is not how Erik ten Hag wants to play, but he's working on something for now to get up to speed with the players and hopefully introduce that system later on. So first of all, that's one thing we aren't doing, the high possession football, and we'll get into other details as well, but the high pressing isn't quite there yet either. So you look at what he tried to do at the Brighton and Brentford game. He wanted to play out from the back, and this is where his possession-based football starts. He likes to play a 4 versus 2 system. So at the back you have your goalkeeper at the base, and then you have your centre-backs and your midfielders. When another team is trying to press you, if you overload that area with players, they can't come and press you because there's too many, and in behind they'll just leave spaces open for players such as Rashford's running behind. So what he wants to do is play with that system, that 4 versus 2, and drag players in and out of space in order for their centre-backs and their full-backs to get up the pitch and progress the ball outwards. This was quickly changed after the Brentford game when you saw David De Gea trying to do this, and you'd see Eriksen as the midfielder dropping in, which is what he likes to do. He likes his midfielder to drop in and receive the ball. It didn't work. We got completely pressed off the ball and the players just weren't up to speed with how this system should be played. I'm not saying it is completely on David De Gea, but it's not, because it's not, but he is definitely part of the problem with his passing out from the back. You just see that oftentimes he's hesitant on the ball and doesn't know exactly where he wants to place it and doesn't really have the best distribution. So he realised earlier on that he's just going to get David De Gea to put it long, and that's what you've seen in the Liverpool games and so forth. Even in the Southampton and Leicester games, he didn't take that risk. He just wanted to get the ball forward. This is not how Erik ten Hag played at Ajax. He likes to build up progression from the back, and he likes to have his midfielder dropping in and dictating the play from the back and players getting into space and overload. Then after overloading defence, overload the midfield, overload the attack. He likes to overload different areas of the pitch. So that's why you see Ajax, Martinez, he wanted him to come in because he is so good on the ball, and you have to do that. As centre-backs for Erik ten Hag, you have to be able to drop into the midfield and then drop back out. But that isn't happening, so that's one thing that isn't happening, which hopefully in the future will start to happen under Erik ten Hag, and something that we could be excited to see the more training he has and the more time he has to implement his style on this team. And potentially he might think he might need more signings to do this as well. He's tried it and it's not worked, so we'll see how that plays out going forward. And then on the full-back front, there is a reason why Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't getting in this team, and there's a reason why Malacia is keeping his spot in the team despite Luke Shaw's injuries, and it's because Diogo Dalot and Tyrell Malacia are playing exactly how Erik ten Hag wants his full-backs to play. We've just spoke about then, likes to overload areas of the pitch. This is an area that we have actually started to do and been successful at times. Sometimes we've not been successful at it, but sometimes we have been. And these are little areas of the pitch you need to pick up on, and how Erik ten Hag is changing Manchester United. You see, I've talked about the 4 versus 2 situation at the back. He also likes to overload the wings of the pitch. And to do this, he has Tyrell Malacia, Jadon Sancho and Christian Eriksen in the middle of the park. It can be same can be said on the other side with Diogo Dalot and with Anthony, and Eriksen or McTominay can move over as well. But he likes to create these triangles, and the reason he does this is he likes to play diagonal balls in the middle of the pitch so players can create space and get round the players. He likes to basically he wants to have more players in that area of the pitch than the other team, so we have more likability to keep the ball. So on previous times when you've watched Manchester United play, you see the likes of Rashford or Sancho or whatever winger it is, it gets put into their feet and they have men in front of them, men behind them. Oftentimes we'd lose the ball, or again, we'd have to play backwards. With Tyrell Malacia especially doing this, Diogo Dalot as well, pushing up the pitch and helping their wingers. You see the ball go out to Tyrell Malacia. He likes to play the inverted fullback system, so they come into the midfield. Eriksen can drop in, and then Sancho's there as well. They like to play zigzags in and out the lines, and this again is all about keeping possession and build-up play. And despite the fact Manchester United haven't had as much possession as you would like, in the middle of the pitch, you've definitely seen Manchester United be successful in keeping a lot more of the ball. And this is due to this tactic, and specifically due to Christian Eriksen. At Ajax, he had a midfield three, and he used to play one of the midfielders is more of an attacking role, more of a number 10, getting forward, and didn't really have much defensive responsibilities. And you've seen that when Donny van der Beek played at Ajax. Now Bruno's the one doing that role, but his two midfielders behind them, sometimes playing in a pivot, sometimes playing in a 4-3-3. They both have defensive responsibilities, but in different sort of ways. Often the left-sided midfielder will have more defensive responsibilities, they're more poised in possession, better on the ball, and keep their position really, really well, and kind of hold back and can get forward at times, but not as much as the right-sided player. And the right-sided player often is also good in possession. That's crucial for an Erik ten Hag system. So the right-sided midfielder would be also good on possession, but not as much defensively, still has defensive responsibilities to help out, but has more of a free roaming role and is allowed to get into the box and link up with that number 10 player. And this is what you've seen from Christian Eriksen. So Christian Eriksen, Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandes are really building that fluid midfield three that Erik ten Hag wants to play. So people would say from the start of the season to now he's completely changed tack and we're just going completely counter-attacking. This is actually not the case. Erik ten Hag is slowly implementing styles into this team which the United players are improving at each game and getting better at. This is a reason why the midfield has improved so much, and Christian Eriksen is a key role in that. He links up the midfield really, really well. And then moving on to the attack, because when you speak about the attack, we have gone more counter-attacking, we have, and it is the way that Erik ten Hag's playing at the moment, because it's the way that's getting him most success before he can completely trust his team to play the style that he wants to play. And this is why you have seen Marcus Rashford up front. And of course, Rashford, Ten Hag is trying to improve his hold-up play. You could see that against Arsenal. He was a lot stronger on the ball, stronger than we've seen him before. 100% not perfect, and whether he can do that role moving forward, I'm not too sure, but he was a lot better on the ball. And he likes his number 9 to be able to hold up the play and link in with the wingers and bring the wingers in, which is why I think Anthony Martial is such an important key figure for Erik ten Hag. When he returns from injury, I would 100% expect him to play that number 9 role, because you have the number 9 getting involved in the play, also have defensive duties, but is extremely high pressing, and when he gets hold of the ball can lay it off. And this is really important to Erik ten Hag's style of football. He likes little layoffs, he likes short passes, he likes passes in between the lines. The goals that we've seen of Rashford getting in behind, they're great goals to play, but on a usual Erik ten Hag system, he likes the goals. But the first goal that you saw against Arsenal, that was a perfect example. I think we had 18 to 20 passes in the build-up, brilliant build-up play. The midfield was moving in and out pockets of space. His number 9, Rashford, gets the ball, holds it off, lays it off to Anthony, and it's a brilliant goal to be scored. That is a goal that you would be likely to see over and over again in the Erik ten Hag system. So we are seeing these glimpses of Erik ten Hag and his style coming through at Manchester United, but he just can't do it all at once, because with this Ajax team, he built this team for seasons upon seasons. He did very, very well in a league that you're not as easily punished if you get things wrong. So Erik ten Hag he started off trying to play this way. He's learned the Premier League is extremely difficult, and he's thought he's going to have to implement this in a more slow and positive way. But when Erik ten Hag does get his system in place, I think you could expect a Manchester United team that keeps a lot of possession, that presses high up the pitch, and is extremely entertaining to watch. His attacking football, it sometimes is brilliant, and Ajax were no short of goals. You've seen defensively, we have been holding down the fort in the last couple of games, and that is because, again, Erik ten Hag has employed centre-backs in Raphael Varane and Martinez, who play the way that he likes his centre-backs to play. They have to push up into the midfield, they have to be aggressive, and that's exactly what you've seen. Again, this takes us higher up the pitch, and we can regain possession a lot easier. The pressing is something else that isn't 100% perfect yet. He likes his team to press and completely overload, kind of like a swarm of bees. We've not managed to continue doing that properly yet, as you've seen. A lot of the times Bruno will go and press, and maybe we're not completely pressing in the right pattern. That is something that's going to get time to adjust as well. But for now, Erik ten Hag is employing the possession in the midfield, is employing the positions on the pitch. He's employing certain attributes to this team that wasn't seen before, but we've got the pressing still to come, you've got the playing out of the back still to come, but this will come over time with Erik ten Hag and over future transfer windows as well. And I'm going to say Eriksen, Martinez, Varane, Bruno Fernandes, Martial are going to be really, really important key figures in this system, as well as the fullbacks. That is why Diogo Dalot and Malacia are doing very, very well in this system, because Erik ten Hag is coaching them through it and they're improving in it each and every week. But get in the comments down below what you think about this. Are you excited for Erik ten Hag here at Manchester United? Do you believe in this coach? Because I certainly do. I think he's done a very brilliant job. Get in the comments who you think is really important to this team. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.